coming from being an old school weeb, what is your opinion of like the modern anime scene and modern anime culture?
Oh man. Okay. So I think this is the interesting thing is when I moved here,
Right.
you'd think like, oh, now I have unlimited access to all this stuff. I can just do it now. I actually didn't. I actually ended up quitting. You know what I quit on?
What?
The last thing I actually sat down and watched, like I'm gonna sit down and watch this, was the K-On! Movie.
Wow.
Why?
That's such a fucking throwback for us.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit.
Why?
I don't know, but just I watched that and I'm like,
I would quit anime if I had to watch that.
Okay, question. Did you like the K-On! movie?
no, I didn't.
Okay. Did you like K-On! though?
I liked K-On!
Okay.
There's something nice about the thought of someone in a cinema watching K-On! And then thinking, I'm done with anime now. It's over for me.
I don't know if it was, maybe it was just like, that's enough, or
Yeah.
maybe it was because a combination of like, well, now I'm in Japan. It's like all this stuff that you see.
Doesn't feel as like unique and as
Well, it's like, it's there. It's
It's not as romanticized anymore, right?
I
Would you say?
don't know if I read it somewhere or someone's told me this, but when you come to Japan, you realize that manga artists are actually, they're not creative. They're just really good at representing real life in a very consumable way.
Right. It's true. Yeah.
You know? And that's not a bad thing. Obviously, that's great. Like you get, that's really good about reading like the sort of the daily life genre,
Like K-On! for
like
instance?
K-On!, like Yotsuba, like all those sorts of things where it's all the stuff you see in those is real life, just sort of compressed into like a form where you can consume it all really quick. And I think that's a great thing. That makes it really enjoyable to read or watch or whatever. But I just sort of like, yeah, that'll do. And unfortunately, that was also at the peak of what was known as like the Moe Blob era.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just kind of ended up, I don't know, it just sort of turned me off. Like, yeah, I don't. I'm
Yeah,
done.
as much as I love the Moe Blob era, like kind of halfway through it, I was like, all right, can we get something else now?
I
please?"
hated the Moe Blob era.
Yeah.
I remember like, so the reason I haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist was because that was during the Moe Blob era,
Yeah.
and that was when I thought I needed to save shows in case I lost my faith in anime, because there wasn't enough shows coming out per season to like keep my interest.
That wasn't Moe Blob.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And then the Isekai era started. I'm like, okay, boys, I'm good.
The what?
The Isekai era. So now we're
in the Isekai.
Yeah.
Okay, see, now I hate that.
I like that.
I'm sorry.
I like that you hate that.
I'm sorry, everyone. I just can't stand isekai. Like,
No,
even-
it's boring.
No.
So boring.
I don't want to see a bunch of normal teenagers in like some fantasy. You know, like I get it. It's cool, but it's not self-aware.
cool.
As someone who likes the Isekai era, I can definitely say like most of it is fucking trash.
It's not self-aware enough. It's like, yeah, it's basically like an RPG game, but it's real. It's like all of you would get annihilated the first time you faced an enemy. All these characters and stuff.
That's true.
Like, what's the original? There's a one called Escaflowne. Do you know that one?
Yeah, I know
That's
that.
I guess that's like an original sort of isekai.
That was an Isekai before the modern
Right?
Isekai formula really
that
started.
was good, I think,
Yeah.
because it was like you were dragged into this world and it was all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's more like, yeah, this is us, yay, and it's just like, I don't know, that just turned me off even more.
Yeah,
It's like,
I'd say like Gun and I covered this when we did an Isekai anime tier list, but Escaflowne and Now and Then Here and Now are probably the two shows from like the 90s that like really kind of built the foundations.
I'd say there's Inuyasha as well.
Inuyasha as well, and then Dot Hack came along and
Yeah.
kind of like put in the whole like video game aspect
Yeah.
into the Isekai thing, and now we're here, and it's just kind
because
of
I feel like Isekai back then, it was all about you get transported to this world, but it was always about finding your way back home. You know what I mean? Because it was always a desolate kind of rough world to be in, but now it's all about, man,
I love this place.
I want to get hit by a truck, so I get transported to another world, and
There's so many fucking shows where it's a teenage boy who's a fucking incel, and then he turns up and 8 girls want to fuck him, and then it's never mentioned that he came from another world ever again, unless it's kind of convenient for why other people want to fuck him.
Yeah,
and it's like,
exactly.
I'm so bored of this shit, man. Can I get something else, please?
yeah.
Needless to say it, I'm kind of bored with Isekai.
yeah. The other one too, I don't know if this is kind of controversial or not, but the genre of where, okay, how do I explain this? Where you have, it's like a harem anime, but the main character is not male, they're a female. They're female, but it's like they're basically a male, but for the convenience of the story, they're female. Like what's the dragon one?
Dragon one.
With
Are you talking about stuff like Oran High School?
No. The one with what's that character? The Kana and the other one.
Kobayashi's Dragon.
Yeah.
Like the main character is a female, but it's actually male. If you think about it, like it's like in
the position of a male,
right?
Right.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
It's like she's female. It's okay.
The Vsauce music.
She's a female, or is she?
Am I missing something?
No.
And there's other ones like that too, where it's kind of like the main character is female, but it's an analog of a male, but it's female, so it's okay. And it's just like it's just even worse. I don't know.
Yeah, I get the genre you're talking about. I'm just trying to think of like other ones that kind of fit into that genre.
I can't remember the name of them, but it's just other ones too where it's kind of like that. And it's like, it's kind of.
So you didn't like Dragon Maid?
No, I didn't like.
Really?
It's just kind of too on the edge of like, it's not actually lewd, guys.
Yeah.
But it is.
Not gonna lie, if it was a toss up between watching anime and just fucking tearing a car to shreds on a track,
Yeah, I would tear a car to
Yeah,
shreds.
same here.
that's probably going to be my hobby. Let's be realistic. Like, I mean, I think the only difference is there's a $6 a month subscription and like a $30,000 problem. How much does it cost to drift on a yearly basis for you?
Man, it can vary, but
Could you throw me a number?
if I had to throw out a budget, like, okay, you're going to need this much a year to drift. Car, fuel, insurance, registration, maintenance, and the occasional, like, you're going to stuff it into a wall
Yeah.
and you're going to break a bunch of shit. At minimum, maybe like $30,000 if you want to drift maybe once a month or once every couple of months at like one track day.
I mean, needless to say, the kids don't get good Christmas presents.
No, well, I mean,
I'm kidding.
Would you like a Noriero hoodie? You just give them your own merch.
You're like, Daddy's got you something special. It's a fucked up tire. There you go.
You just can touch this.
Just buy them and use our tires and like, are you going to use that? If you can't use that, Daddy can use that, you know?
Some premium oil for you here, children.
Have you ever thought about getting an Itasha yourself?
yes.
Oh, really?
What would you get? What would you
get? What would you
I
get?
love there's zero hesitation in that. He was like, of course.
I'm okay. I turned 40 years old this year, so I don't know how. I really don't know. See, there's two ways you can do this. There's the one way where you can just be shameless and like, this is my waifu. But there's the other way, like, because a lot of Western people are very like timid when it comes to their itasha. Like, it'll be like Dragon Ball or something where it's not like
normie as hell.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. Whereas here, it's like some Studio Leaf, you know,
like visual novel.
yeah, and it's like this is what I fap to, like, like that's it. So I guess if I was gonna do it, I'd have to go hard in and go like.
Okay,
full-
well, who's your wife?
Who is it?
I
then?
just don't know. I don't have any these days. I mean, I thought.
Who's the OG waifu for you? Like the one that you first was like, yes, this is my waifu.
A long time ago, I really liked Lam from Urusei Yatsuda.
Urusei Yatsuda. Holy shit. That's the OG waifu
Dude, like
right
the-
there.
You can't get more OG than Lam. I'm pretty sure she was like one of the first waifus.
She was one of the
to
first
ever
waifus,
exist.
yeah.
Dude, like the eyeshadow and the bikini and everything.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this character is. Or
Oh,
looks
really?
like.
You've probably seen her. She's the one with like the green hair and like the tiger,
The tiger bikini.
tiger bikini.
yeah.
like
Tiger bikini.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
It's like those horns.
yeah.
yeah, I've seen that.
I just got this great image of you like rocking up to your kid's school in like an Idol Master car
no,
and just
I'd
like
never
picking
do
out your
that.
kids like, come on kids,
Get in, kids.
get in.
It's like, that's not my dad. That's not my dad.